trust is a dangerous game, and the Stoics knew it. These ancient philosophers weren't cynics, but they understood a fundamental truth about human nature. People are unpredictable, self-interested, and often unreliable. This isn't pessimism, it's reality. The Stoics built their lives on this understanding, and it made them stronger, more resilient, and ultimately more successful than their peers. In this video, we'll break down the 10 core reasons why Stoics never fully trust anyone, and why adopting this mindset will transform your life. You'll learn how to protect yourself from betrayal, disappointment, and manipulation while building unshakable inner strength. This isn't about isolating yourself or becoming paranoid. It's about seeing the world as it truly is and acting accordingly. 1. People always act in self-interest. Human nature is predictable in one crucial way. Everyone acts in their own self-interest. This doesn't make people evil, it makes them human. The Stoics understood this fundamental truth and used it to their advantage. When you grasp this concept, you'll stop being surprised by betrayal or disappointment. You'll recognize that even those closest to you will prioritize their needs over yours when push comes to shove. This isn't cynicism, it's clear-eyed realism. By accepting this truth, you can make better decisions in your relationships and business dealings. You'll stop relying on others' goodwill and start creating situations where your interests align with theirs. As Marcus Aurelius said, begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness. This mindset prepares you for reality and prevents you from being blindsided. 2. Words are cheap, actions reveal truth. Talk is easy. Promises flow freely from people's lips. But the Stoics knew that words mean nothing without corresponding actions. They judged people not by what they said, but by what they did. Pay attention to patterns of behavior, not grand declarations or apologies. If someone consistently fails to follow through on their commitments, that's who they are. No amount of excuses or explanations changes this fundamental truth. Epictetus advised, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Apply this wisdom to how you evaluate others. Look for those who embody their values and commitments, not those who merely speak about them. This approach will save you countless hours of frustration and disappointment. 3. Emotions cloud judgment. Emotions are powerful forces, but they often lead us astray. The Stoics practiced emotional detachment, not to become cold, but to see clearly. When you trust based on feelings, you're setting yourself up for failure. Love, fear, anger, and excitement can all blind us to red flags and warning signs. How many times have you ignored your instincts because you felt something was right? How often has that ended well? Seneca warned, the greatest remedy for anger is delay. Apply this principle to all your emotional responses. Before trusting someone, step back. Analyze the situation objectively. What evidence do you have that this person is trustworthy? What potential downsides are you ignoring because of how you feel? This detached analysis will serve you far better than gut feelings. 4. People change. Circumstances change. Even if someone has proven trustworthy in the past, the Stoics knew that this was no guarantee for the future. People evolve, situations shift, and what once seemed solid can crumble in an instant. Don't fall into the trap of assuming past behavior predicts future actions. Someone who was loyal in easy times may falter when real challenges arise. A friend who kept your secrets might spill them under pressure. Heraclitus, a major influence on Stoic thought, famously said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man." Remember this when dealing with others. Stay vigilant, reassess relationships regularly, and never assume that trust, once earned, is permanent. 5. Knowledge is power and people guard it. Information is currency in our world, and people protect what's valuable. The Stoics recognized that everyone holds cards close to their chest. When you trust blindly, you give others power over you. Always assume there's more to the story than what you're being told. This doesn't mean everyone is lying, but everyone is strategic with information. In negotiations, relationships, and daily interactions, People reveal only what serves their interests. As Epictetus taught, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Apply this to how you gather information, question everything, verify independently, and never assume you have the full picture based solely on what others tell you. 6. Dependency breeds weakness. Relying too heavily on others makes you vulnerable. The Stoics emphasized self-reliance as a cornerstone of personal strength. When you trust others to fulfill your needs, you hand over control of your life. This doesn't mean isolating yourself. It means developing the skills and mindset to thrive independently. Can you support yourself financially, emotionally, intellectually? The more self-sufficient you become, the less power others have over you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Focus on what you can control directly. Build your capabilities. The less you need to trust others for your well-being, the stronger you become. 7. Trust is often a tool of manipulation. Beware of those who demand your trust, especially early in a relationship. The Stoics were wary of flattery and quick intimacy, recognizing them as tools of manipulation. Con artists, salespeople, and manipulators all use trust as a weapon. They create a false sense of closeness to lower your defenses. Once you trust them, you're easier to exploit. Epictetus warned, it is not so much what happens to you as how you think about what happens. When someone pushes for your trust, step back. Ask yourself why they're so eager. What do they stand to gain? True trust develops slowly, over time, through consistent actions. Anyone rushing this process likely has ulterior motives. 8. Group dynamics. Amplify unreliability. The Stoics were skeptical of crowds and group thinking. They knew that people behave differently in groups than they do as individuals, often becoming less reliable and more prone to irrational behavior. In a group setting, individual responsibility gets diluted. People are more likely to act against their own principles when swept up in collective emotion, or when they can hide behind the anonymity of a crowd. Seneca observed, "The crowd is the mother of ignorance." Be especially cautious when dealing with organizations, companies, or any group where decision-making is distributed. Remember that a promise from a group is often worth less than a promise from an individual. Always seek to identify who, specifically, is accountable. 9. Expectations lead to disappointment. When you trust, you create expectations. The Stoics knew that expectations are a direct path to suffering. By limiting trust, you limit the power of others to disappoint you. This isn't about lowering your standards. It's about facing reality head-on. People will let you down not because they're evil, but because they're human. By expecting this, you rob these letdowns of their power to hurt you. Epictetus taught, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Apply this to trust. Instead of lamenting betrayals or unmet expectations, focus on and appreciate those rare instances where trust is earned and maintained. 10. True strength comes from within. Ultimately, the Stoic approach to trust is about building inner resilience. When you stop relying on others for your happiness, security, or success, you become truly powerful. This mindset frees you from the emotional roller coaster of trust and betrayal. You'll no longer be devastated when others let you down, because your core strength doesn't depend on them. You'll approach relationships and opportunities with clear eyes, seeing them for what they are rather than what you wish they were. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the essence of the Stoic approach to trust. Build your inner citadel. Cultivate self-reliance. Then you can engage with the world from a position of strength, not neediness. The Stoic approach to trust isn't about isolation or paranoia. It's about seeing the world clearly and acting wisely. By adopting these principles, you'll protect yourself from manipulation, disappointment, and unnecessary suffering. You'll make better decisions, form stronger relationships, and develop unshakable inner strength. Remember, Trust is a tool and a currency. Use it sparingly, verify constantly, and never let it become a weakness. The path of the Stoic is challenging, but it leads to a life of true freedom and power. Embrace these truths and watch as your life transforms. If you have made it this far, comment down below with the word 100% to confirm that you have received the knowledge from this video. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.